A modern city known for commerce and trade fairs, Lausanne isn't just about business. You'll find plenty of things to do in its historic old town and along the shore of Lake Geneva. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 rated attractions and things to do in Lausanne. Now, before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more awesome travel guides, and make sure you hit the notification bell so that you know when we publish a new video. So if you're ready, let's cut to the chase. And at 10, day trip to Château de Chillon. Rising directly out of the lake outside Montreux, Château de Chillon dates to the 9th century and is the setting for Byron's The Prisoner of Chillon, based on a true story. The stronghold of the Counts and Dukes of Savoy commanded the road from Burgundy over the Alps into Italy and was given its present form in the 13th century. The oldest parts, which you'll see on the well-organised and well-signed route through the castle's 20-plus buildings, are the Keep and the Duke's Tower, which are linked by an internal wall, the living quarters and the square tower above the entrance. Only the crypt remains of the 10th century St. Pantaleon Chapel, containing one of the region's first Christian altars. In the underground vaults, massive pillars and Gothic ribbed vaulting are carved out of bedrock, and here you'll see the iron ring that restrained François de Bonivard, the famed prisoner of the Duke of Savoy. The entire complex is interesting and well interpreted by signage and costumed guides, but especially noteworthy are the large kitchen, the banqueting hall, the adjoining Bernese room decorated with floral motifs, and the splendid heraldic hall. In the old tower are the Duke's apartments, where you can see traces of the rich 13th and 14th century decoration with birds and flowers. The vaulted St. George's Chapel is completely decorated with figures and tendrils. The Count's Great Hall has a 15th century coffered ceiling and 4 windows with quatrefoils above 2 13th century Gothic arches. I bet those walls can speak. At 9, climb the Escaliers de Marche. One of the most picturesque sights in Lausanne is the long flight of covered steps leading from just above Place de la Palud to the terrace in front of the main door to the cathedral. Built in the 13th century, it connected the market in Place de la Palud to the one above. It takes its name from the city market that was held in a square next to the staircase until the 14th century. Beside the steps, and rising with them in layers of terraces, is a row of buildings that date from the 16th century. If you're climbing up, you can break the climb by stopping at a cafe on one of the terraces for a coffee or hot chocolate. Next up at 8, explore the PLATEFORME 10 art museums. 3 of Lausanne's outstanding art museums have joined other cultural institutions in a new purpose-built complex in the heart of the city near the rail station. PLATEFORME 10 is the nucleus for an expanding arts neighbourhood, a one-stop centre for arts and culture, if you please. The Musée de Beaux-Arts, the Fine Art Museum, holds an art collection that, although modest in numbers, is impressive in the quality of French artists represented. You'll find works by Paul Cézanne, Edgar Degas, Auguste Renoir, Pierre Bonnard, Albert Marquet, Henri Matisse and Maurice Utrillo here, along with a good collection of graphic works by Swiss artists. Entirely devoted to photography, Musée de l'Élysée collects the momentous along with the trivial moments as they have been captured on film. Created by some of the great names in the art and by total unknowns, images reflect local and worldwide subjects, early and contemporary subjects, all dedicated to showing the many ways photographs have represented people, places and events. The museum also tells the story of the medium itself in examples of early processes, including ambrotypes, albumen paper and photochrome. The Museum of Contemporary Design and Applied Arts began as a collection of decorative arts, but has grown into a forum for the interplay of applied and fine arts, especially in the context of modern design. A program of 5 or more exhibitions annually gives particular attention to young and emerging designers and their work. At 7, watch the clock in Place de la Palud. Yes, watch the clock. Below the cathedral, the winding streets of the old city are reserved for pedestrians and converge on Place de la Palud, where you'll see Lausanne's oldest fountain, the Fountain of Justice, with justice represented on its central pillar. On the steps around the fountain, you'll often find people sitting as they await the clock above, which shows animated scenes from local history every hour from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Wednesday and Saturday mornings, market stalls selling local farm produce fill the square and its radiating streets. Overlooking the square is the Hôtel de Ville, the town hall, built in the 15th century with 16th century stained glass and 17th century modifications. It has arcades on the ground level, and on the facade are two copper gargoyles shaped like dragons. At 6, admire the Impressionists at the Hermitage Foundation. A newcomer as great art museums go, the Foundation de l'Hermitage collection began in 1984 and has since grown with the donation of several more important private collections. Now more than 650 works represent prominent artists, especially Impressionists and post-Impressionist painters. Artists represented include Manet, Cézanne, Degas, Monet, Boudin, Van Gogh, Fentlatour, Vuillard and Braque. The museum also exhibits a major collection of works by 20th century artists of the Vaud region, and special exhibitions bring retrospectives of other Swiss artists such as the Lucerne-based painter Hans Emmenegger. The foundation is housed in an elegant lakeside house surrounded by gardens. And now at 5, Collection de l'Art Brut. One of the world's leading museums for outsider art, the Collection de l'Art Brut was founded by French artist Jean Dubuffet's contribution of his private collection of works by untrained artists. Works by more than 1,000 artists outside the mainstream creative community make up the collections, which include naive paintings, sculptures, masks, and works in a wide variety of media. The exhibitions change following various themes that interpret the art and explore the creative process. The collections are housed in the splendid Château de Beaulieu, an 18th century patrician residence in the centre of the city. At 4 now, it's Château d'Ouchy and Promenade. Below the busy centre of Lausanne is the lakeside neighbourhood of Ouchy, whose elegant Belle Époque hotels are connected by a flower-lined promenade that stretches between the old and new ports. At the centre of this stands a 12th century castle, the Château d'Ouchy, in which the peace treaty between Turkey, Greece and the Allies was signed in 1923. The chateau is now a luxury hotel and fine dining restaurant. Near the Hôtel de l'Angleterre, across the street from the chateau, a plaque commemorates Lord Byron, who wrote The Prisoner of Chillon here. Several historical treaties were signed in the famous grand hotels along the shore, including the Accord de Lausanne, where European powers agreed to suspend World War I reparations payments, signed at the opulent Beau Rivage Palace in 1932. From Lausanne's old harbour at Port d'Ouchy, the lakeside promenade runs 1 kilometre east to the 1823 Haldimand Tower and the attractive Parc des Nantou. There you can see the Thai Pavilion, a gift from Thailand. All along the promenade are views across the lake to the Savoy Alps. Departing regularly from Place de la Navigation are boats that stop at points all along the lake between Geneva and Montreux, and across the lake to the French shore. If you're energetic, you can rent a bicycle and follow the lakeshore on a segment of the 175-kilometre Tour de Lac Léman, a well-signed cycle route through lakeside villages with stunning lake and mountain views. Alright, at 3, Cathedral of Notre-Dame. No, not that one, that's in Paris. Medieval pilgrims following the way of St. James to Santiago de Compostela in Spain entered the cathedral through its 13th century Apostles' Doorway, adorned with beautifully painted stone sculptures. Inside, immediately to the right, is the Chapel of St. James, where they prayed and received their tokens. Beyond, in the south transept, is a glorious rose window with 105 panels of beautiful 13th century stained glass. Look under the window to see the originals of the stone sculptures from the Apostles' Doorway preserved here. The interior of the cathedral is beautifully proportioned, its focal point of an organ of 6,000 pipes. The south aisle has carved choir stalls from 1509, and in the choir are some early Gothic stalls. In the crypt lie the remains of an 8th century basilica with tombs. The early Gothic cathedral, which is now Protestant, is a landmark with its 5 towers rising above the city from the hilltop. From the 72-metre high central tower, a night watchman calls out the hours from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m, as one has been doing each night for more than 6 centuries. Surely not the same guy. At 2. See Geneva, Lac Léman by boat. For most of its crescent-shaped length, Lake Geneva separates France and Switzerland, giving Lausanne, on its northern shore, beautiful views of the French Alps with the lake in the foreground. The shore from Lausanne east as far as Montreux is known as the Swiss Riviera, a sun-drenched landscape of terraced plantings dropping to a shoreline of gardens, palm trees and picturesque villages. The best way to enjoy the lake, and among the most popular things to do for tourists in Lausanne, is to board one of the lake steamers that stop here and either take a cruise or use it to hop between towns. Ferries shuttle between Lausanne and 2 French towns across the lake. The most popular of these is the spa town of Evian-les-Bains, a scenic 35-minute ride away. Equally scenic are the rides to Geneva and Montreux, or you can take a dinner or lunch cruise. The most popular cruises are on the Belle Époque paddle steamers, Montreux and the elegant La Suisse. You can buy day tickets for unlimited CGN boat travel or use a Swiss railway pass, which is valid on CGN boats. And finally, at number 1, Olympic Museum. Along with the artifacts and history of the competitions, the Olympic Museum overlooking Lake Geneva focuses on the spirit and values of the Olympics and the qualities that have made them endure. The recently renovated displays span the entire history of the Games, from their origins in ancient Greece to the most recent, and include Olympic torches, historic posters, equipment and clothing worn by Olympians. You can relive great moments from the Olympic Games through film clips and follow the evolution of sports technology and even fashion design. In addition to the exhibits and interactive experiences in the building, the lakeside campus includes manicured grounds where you can see sculptures and other works of art depicting Olympic themes, as well as the Olympic flame. And there you have it, the top 10 rated attractions and things to do in Lausanne. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic travel guides. So, see you next time.